After the pain, after the rain, after the shame, you will live again, you will dream again, you will breathe again, you will live again, dream again. Breathe again.
Hello and welcome to Breathe Again Radio Show, the podcast. I am your host, Nicole Cleveland, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how the world didn't stop. You're listening to the Starting Over After Divorce series, and this is where I'm just going to chat about what I've gone through, the lessons that I've learned over the years in regards to divorce and how I put my broken pieces back together again, how I did that. It was not easy, but I did do that. So thanks so much for joining me. Today, I'm discussing how the world didn't stop. So, in the midst of my crisis, because I called it a crisis, in the midst of what I was going through and what I was dealing with, the world didn't stop, child. All kinds of life was happening all around me. Things were going on in my head. Things were going on physically. I mean, there were days that I would get sick. I couldn't eat. I lost so much weight. But things were still happening on the outside. Unbeknownst to me, that although I was falling apart, everything else was going on. Life did not stop. Life didn't give me a pass. Life didn't say, okay, we're going to pause until Nicole gets it together. No, that didn't happen like that, boo. It didn't happen like that. And so what I had to do is I had to deal with that thing. I had to still go to work. When I did eventually I found a job. I still had to go to work. I had to handle business. I had to navigate these bills. I had to call people and try to make arrangements. I had to figure out how I was going to do life. You know, everyday activities continued. And although I was yelling and screaming on the inside, like, no, give me a few years, give me a few months, give me a few days, it didn't happen that way. So what I had to do was I really step back. I had to step back and realize that, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to make this work? What do I need to do to make myself a better person? How am I going to take care of these kids? And I had to give myself some space and I had to give myself wiggle room because there were days where it was just overwhelming days where I wanted to run in a cave and hide. If I could just crawl up under the bed and hide. If there was a hole in the middle of the floor, I think I would have sunk into the hole and stayed there. Until I got me together. But I wasn't afforded that opportunity. I still had to go out here and do what I needed to do. And, you know, one of the hardest things for me was really being a mom in the midst of being broken. That was hard for me. That was hard because I wanted to be a good mom. I wanted to continue loving with all of me, but I was empty. I was empty and it was gut punching and depressed and just sorrowful, just a pitiful hump of mess. I was a pitiful hump of mess. My children knew I loved them. Yeah, I did the best that I could do, but some days there was nothing that I could give. And I beat myself up for that. There's some days I couldn't do what I was expected to do. And that was okay. I had to realize that that was okay. Today is just not going to be a good day. Tomorrow may not be a good day, but then maybe the day after will be a little bit better. So I had to make sure that I was the best that I could be. And if that meant stepping back and getting Nicole together, that's what I had to do. That's exactly what I had to do. I was broken. I was broken and I had to come to terms with being broken and come to terms with doing the work that was necessary to put myself back together again. Because the state of mind that I was in, um, I was no good for myself. I was no good for the kids. I was no good for anyone, really, because I didn't know if I was coming or if I was going. I really didn't. And I know there's women out here listening right now, and there are days right now, because you may be starting over after divorce. You may be in the midst of the divorce right now. You may be in the midst of the process right now. And there are days that you don't know if you're coming or if you're going. There's days where I tell you, there were some days I didn't want to get out the bed. No, you know what? There were days I didn't get out the bed. Truth be told, there were days I didn't get out of the bed because I couldn't get out of the bed. But I know if you're listening right now and you are where I was, I just want to encourage you and tell you that you're going to get out the bed, baby. It's going to get better. You know, this trouble that you're experiencing, the pain that you're feeling right now, it's not going to last always. It is not going to last always. And I know you're like, yeah, right. Because when I was in it, I would say the same thing. It felt like I was just stuck, and time was just still right there in that moment of that hurt and that pain and that confusion, because that's what it was, lots of confusion. But I want you to know that it does get better. I want you to know that you will make it. I want you to know that tomorrow is coming. It's coming. You know, Game of Thrones, winter is coming. Winter is coming. Well, tomorrow is coming. Tomorrow is coming, and it's going to be here faster than you know it. So just hang in there, hang on, and take the necessary time that you need to take for yourself. If you're not feeling it right now, then you're not feeling it right now. Feel what you need to feel, right? Experience what you are experiencing. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't run from it. Face it head on. Face it head on. And sometimes you have to face it fearful. You have to face it scared. You have to face it not knowing what's going to take place. But nonetheless, go ahead and face it, baby. And that's what I had to do. I had to face whatever was coming at me. And it seemed like something was coming at me all the time. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. If it wasn't that, it was something else. If it wasn't that, it was something else. And I was tired. I was just tired, but I faced it. And I did what I was supposed to do. I did the necessary work to put the pieces back together again. And you're going to put the pieces back together again, too. You're going to put one foot in front of the other, and you're going to make it, even if it's just a few steps. You know, I tell people all the time, you have to crawl before you walk, right? And then you have to walk before you run. Sometimes we just want to run. Sometimes we want to run and get it over with, and that's not the process. Maybe it's some people's process, but most times it's not the process. And don't judge your process with somebody else's process. Don't judge the time that it's taking for you to heal and for you to get it together and for you to move on with Sally's process. Because Sally took 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 days, and 4 hours. And they were healed and on to the next person and remarried. Don't do that. Do what's needed for you, because we are all different. We're all different. We are all different. We're all made up differently. It took me years. It took me years to get myself together. I thought in the beginning I was ready to move on, but I was not ready. I was not ready. It was too much, because as women, I've learned that we love hard, but we love harder. Yeah, we hurt harder. I'm sorry. We love hard, but we hurt harder. We hurt harder. And so when that thing comes, man, it knocks us down. It knocks us down. And the more that we try to get up, It's sort of like God says, sit right there for a second, sit right there in this moment, sit right there until I heal you, until I do the necessary work on the inside of you to fix you, to complete you, because you don't want to have to rerun this race. You don't want to have to go through the test again. You don't want to have to go backwards. I attribute it to um, a game when you're going around the the board game, and it takes you to jail, or it takes you back, and it tells you you have to go back 5 spaces, or you have to go back 10 spaces, or you're going straight to jail and you got to start all over. Go to jail, go straight to jail. Don't collect your $200, or go all the way back to go and you have to start over. Don't be that person, because if you come out prematurely, it's like a cake. It ain't done. And then you're not going to be done. You got to go right back in there. You got to start right back over. And you don't want to start it over. Not after all the work that you've done to get to where you are right now, or to get to the place where you have ended up at, and then you're right back at go. Don't do that. You're right back at start. Don't do that. Believe in yourself. Believe that you're coming out of this. Believe that God's got you. You know, he's holding your hand. He's comforting you. He's healing you. He's doing the work on the inside of you. There's some work that's being done on you that was done on me that I couldn't see, but it was done on the inside. And that's what was most important. That inner work that was done from inside out, not outside in. Yeah, I could put it on and dress it up and make it look good. But if the inside wasn't right, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Like eating some raw chicken, right? It looks good on the outside. Boy, that thing is fried and it is that golden brown. But when you go to bite that thing, it got some blood in it. That means it's not done. And so I encourage you to do the work and get it done. Do the work and get it done. I encourage you to take time for you, because the world's not stopping. The world's not stopping. We're continuing to move forward. We're continuing to move on. Life goes on. And because you are in your crisis right now, and you are in your dilemma right now, the world doesn't care. So take the necessary time that you need to step back, regroup, get yourself together so you can move forward. All right. Go ahead and do that. And thank you so much for listening today. Thank you for stopping by the show. If you know someone that is struggling with starting over after a divorce, I want you to send them my way. I get it. I understand. I know the pain. I know the tears. And I wish that no one goes through this by themselves. You know, when we have friends, sometimes they'll say, I know how you feel. I know how you feel. But baby, you don't know how I feel because you're going home to a husband. You don't know how I feel because you're not walking in it. You have not experienced it. And it doesn't take away from them at all. They just care about you. They love you. They want you to be healed, and they want you to be happy, and they want you to be whole. But it's nothing like speaking to somebody that's gone through what you've gone through, that has walked the same road that you are walking currently. You know, check me out online. I'm NicoleConline.com, NicoleConline.com. And, you know, I pray for you. I pray that your tomorrow is better than your today. And why do I say that? I say that because every day we should be evolving. So today may not be so great, but I pray that your tomorrow is better than today. All right. I'm Nicole Cleveland. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a divorce coach. If you need help, inbox me, shoot me an email. I'd love to help you. All right. God bless you. And thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you so very much.
After the pain, after the rain, after the shame, you will live again, you will dream again. you will breathe again. You will live again.